Hello everyone, welcome back to Whiz. This is Priyadarshan Babu here, your host master, and I'm here with the answers for yesterday's questions and five more interesting new questions for you today. So I hope you're ready and I hope you are excited for the same. I got a few answers on personal comments, but I would really appreciate if everyone writes their comments in the YouTube videos itself. And I will start off with the answers for yesterday's five questions. So here comes question number one. The phrase saved by the bell originated from which sport? So now the sport that it originated from is boxing. So as we know that there are 12 rounds in boxing. So after each round gets over, there's a bell that is rung, and many a times what happens is the one of the two fighters is actually in a losing spot, but he gets saved by the bell, so that at least he can recover from that bout and then continue in on the next round. So that is how this phrase originated, that saved by the bell. Moving on to our second question for yesterday. This is Europe's only civilian rocket base and major center of space and climate research. Rocket launches, testing of unmanned aircrafts, and balloon ascents are all conducted from this Swedish base. So where is it located? Or name the location. So the location of this place is the Esrange Space Center. So that was the answer that we were looking for. Moving on to our third question for yesterday. I had given you a list of names and I had asked you to connect them. So the list of names were Conrad Nicky, Hilton Jr., Michael Wilding, Mike Todd, Eddie Fisher, Richard Burton, John Warner, and Larry Fortensky. So actually the one person who connects all of them is Elizabeth Taylor, because she was married to each and every one of them. So Elizabeth Taylor got married 8 times, and amongst those 8 times she actually ended up marrying Richard Burton twice. So I don't know, I know that variety is the spice of life, but I never knew that things could go to this extent. So this is the answer that we are looking for. Moving on to our fourth question for yesterday. His real name is Sampuran Singh Kalra. How do we know him better? So we know him as the great lyricist, poet and musician. His name is Gulzar. So we know him by the name Gulzar. His full actual name is Sampuran Singh Kalra. And now that brings us to our last question for yesterday. He was the youngest member of the inaugural class at the Hupan University, a Chinese business school founded by Jack Ma in 2015. These 30 students were recruited by Jack Ma, whom he believed could revolutionize the Chinese business world. This person that we are talking about currently serves as the CEO of Payo and BitTorrent. So who are we talking about? So the person that we were talking about is Justin Sun, and he is the founder of the cryptocurrency firm Tron. So many of you would have heard of this, many of you would have heard his name, but this is how he rose to fame. So now those were the answers for yesterday's 5 questions. I hope you enjoyed that. And now it's time to move on to today's 5 questions. So here we go with question number 1. Since 1944, which country does not have its own army and have not been attacked by any other country? So this probably would be a first of its kind. So let's see whether you can venture a guess. So which country are we talking about? Moving on to our second question for today. This term describes a 4-year war between 2 hostile chimpanzee groups in Tanzania during the year 1974 to 1978. During this time, there were mutual killings, violence, and kidnappings as well. The war was considered the first known situation in which chimpanzees deliberately killed another chimpanzee. So what is the name of this war? So that was our second question. Moving on to our third question for today. What was accidentally invented during World War II when an Italian soldier mixed chocolate with hazelnut to stretch his food ration? So what was accidentally developed? And this is I can tell you this for sure, this is a product that everyone would have tasted and we all love this. So that was our third question. Moving on to our fourth question for today. This 9-foot long Viking Age rock carving illustrates the story of Sigurd the Dragon Slayer, whose adventures are mentioned in Beowulf and the Icelandic sages. It is also said that his story inspired Richard Wagner's Ring Cycle and J.R.R. Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. So, what is this carving known as? So, that was our fourth question. And now it's time for our last question for today. The shortest war in the world took place in 1896 and it lasted only about 38 minutes. That's all. This was between the British and which other country? So that is our last question. You need to tell me the name of the country. So I hope you enjoyed the answers for yesterday's questions, and I'm looking forward to all your answers in the comments below for today's 5 questions. Please do not forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel. Please spread the word, and I will be back in a while with the pre-match review for today's IPL match as well, so don't forget to watch that. I will see you all tomorrow with 5 more answers and 5 more questions. So I hope you'll be there, and I hope you'll be waiting for more. So till then, this is Priyadarshan signing off. So please stay safe, take care, and good night, and let's keep quizzing.